welcome to Artist Spotlight, man. It's your boy Too Loud Crosby, man. I'm with the guy right here. But introduce yourself, man. Let him know.
What's going on? This Junior Kid, Basement Game,
Yes, Lord.
Southside. You dig?
One of the hottest artists in the city, one of the best lyricists, you know what I'm saying? We don't bring anybody up here. But we're going to jump right into the interview, and I'm going to get right to industry questions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you
sure.
think the industry rewards talent, or does it reward consistency and branding?
I would say on like a national scale,
Yeah.
consistency and branding for
Why
sure.
is
Because
that?
I think there's a lot of artists who are really talented, but when you start scaling up and you get deeper into the business aspect of the music industry, it really starts to become about branding, building an image, creating a consistent world for people to buy into. And so like if you got the skill, you can write a crazy 16, you can write dope songs, but you can't make people connect to it.
Exactly.
It's not really gonna go as far as it needs to, at least in that realm. I mean, you'll get a following and a buzz just by being talented, but there's kind of a limit on how high you can get just doing that and not putting no type of thought into the business aspect of it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
so it's a ceiling with your talent, but once you got that marketing, that branding, then you can go through this next.
right. When you got both of them, that's when you get like the Kendricks. But then, I feel like throughout history, there's tons of artists we can name who were super dope, crazy lyricists, made great music, but they never really got that mainstream appeal because they didn't have the other half of it. You know what I mean?
No, I love that. You're right about that. But one thing I gotta ask you: what inspired you to start making music, my man? What made you say, "Hey, I'm finna pick this pen up and take this seriously"?
Man, honestly, just listening to all the hip hop growing up. Like when I was a kid, my brother was a huge hip hop head, so I would just kick it with him in his room and just listen to all the CDs he had. We would watch 106 in Park and like Rhapsody in the Basement and all that. So watching all that like just made me. They were like superheroes to me when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So like I always wanted to kind of dabble in it, but I didn't have the confidence to do it until I got older and started really putting like effort and thought behind it.
Yeah, that's why I be trying to tell people that was a different time. Like
For
everybody
sure.
was like the Avengers. They had their own style, energy, lingo.
Yeah. Everyone was unique.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of lost in the modern era.
Yeah, it super is. Because I remember the time period where everybody dressed different.
Yeah.
But now I can wear what Lil Baby got on right now.
You know
what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
we all just copping the same energy and swags, but back in the day, this internet, you didn't know what was happening in Memphis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I know exactly. I can go to that feed.
Even when it comes down to like slang and like things that are very region specific, you'll see a dude from like Wyoming saying the same thing and talking like somebody from Chicago.
Literally.
And it'd just be like, I know you got that for the internet. And like inspiration is cool, but like I don't know. I feel like national and regional uniqueness and identity is kind of getting lost, and it's starting to come back now. I think what Metro did with the project he put out, is kind of ushering that back in. But I think a lot of the identity and the uniqueness between specific artists is a little bit lost in the modern era.
For sure. And I could admit to that. There's times I've been in the studio and was like, but I kind of should make something they want to feel.
Yeah.
It ain't true to what I'm feeling, but maybe throw a little spin on what maybe TikTok will love. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't even what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's hard to gravitate from that. I feel that. My next question, is it easy to stay true to your authentic self? And this is a piggyback off the question I just asked. When you are trying to appeal to the masses, like where do you find that balance of like, this still me, but I still want to be appealing?
I think it can be difficult. I think if you start to get a little too bought in and like attached to outcomes and like the numbers and like what's popular, when you go on the internet and you seeing like what's being pushed by these record labels and what's getting the attention online, it's very easy to start looking within and being like, all right, well, what can I do to kind of put my own spin on these type of things and like get some of that attention for myself. But I feel like the more that you get into being an artist and the longer you start doing it and the deeper you get into it, it kind of forces you to dial it back a little bit at a certain point. Because I feel like people can tell, like when you're trying to appeal to them or when you're trying to pander to them or you're trying to present yourself like what you think they're going to like as opposed to who you are. And I feel like we were talking about there being a cap on how big you can get if you don't have the business aspect. I feel like there's a cap on how popular you can get if people don't feel authenticity from what you're doing.
For sure,
You'll trick some people, but eventually, like with people who are really like the person you're trying to portray yourself to be, see you, they're gonna see through it, and then eventually it'll stop working. At that point, like
yeah, you can feel when like this is authentic.
Yeah,
yeah, this ain't internet right here.
Right.
I like that. My last question: AI and music.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm not gonna lie.
Why not, man? Go on, get on AI. I just feel like what's that sonar? Go on, jump on there.
Because I just feel like if you go, what are you even in music for? If you're getting AI, like here's my thing. Here's my thing. Like I feel like music and art specifically is such a specific experience and tied to people's soul and their experience and what their viewpoint and their mindset, that for you to just like get a robot to like make it for you, it just kind of, to me, it makes me question like, what are your intentions in music and why do you do this in the first place? I feel like everybody I know personally who's an artist did it because it was something that they genuinely wanted to do, regardless of whether or not they had fans or people paying attention to it. It was like an escape, almost in a sense. So if you're just like going on ChatGPT and having it write a song for you and you're putting it in whatever the program is and having a robot sing it for you, it's just like, it just feels like you're like a culture vulture at that point to me, at least me personally. Like,
you're a culture vulture. Put it back. Don't touch it.
But I will say, I think there can be some good uses for AI. Like I saw Benny Siegel, he used AI to like put an album out with his voice since it got messed up because he got shot. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Or like if DLC did that because he lost his voice, something like that, it'd be cool. And that's like a good way to use AI. But if you just out here getting just full songs made from a robot and having a fake person sing it, like I don't know, I just feel like you're just adding noise to something that's already oversaturated. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, you said that perfectly. But then it's things like this, man. I want to make a cold beat right now, right? I say, what if I have a chorus, like a 20-set chorus in the background? I mean, a choir. So now it's a choir singing, and I went on Sonar and I sung it, and then they made a choir that sounded like a black church in the background on this beat, off AI. And that's one thing that I was like, it would have cost a lot of money, a lot of preparation.
Right, it would be hard to do that.
Solved 3 months of prep in 30 seconds, So I'm against it, but in those ways, as just a scientist with this,
I see the reason behind it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I just think it's a slippery slope, man. Because once you start doing that, it's real easy to go from that to now we got people who not even doing nothing. They just pressing buttons and putting records out. You already see it on these labels.
I already see it.
And on the charts, Timbaland got his AI artist. That's already crazy to me. And disappointing coming from a pioneer in this hip hop shit.
Somebody who was taking baby voices to make music.
Yeah.
He signed the first AI artist is crazy. Come on, man. Like, this is the from scratch guy.
Yeah.
Nasty, man.
It is what it is, though. I feel like it's one of those things that's just going to get bigger from what it is now. I mean, it's taking over the entire world. It's not even just the music industry. It's all industry. You know what I mean?